Good evening, and welcome to the 2021 Lake Superior Community Partnership Annual Celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Mr. Don Ryan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the annual celebration of the Lake Superior Community Partnership. I'm Don Ryan, and I'll be your MC for this gathering. We have an exciting program lined up for you tonight. 2020 is a year we will all remember for a lot of reasons. It was a year that had a major impact on every person, every business, and every organization. And the LSCP was no exception. To be successful in economic development, you must remain nimble and be able to pivot quickly in our ever-changing world. And that's just what LSCP did in 2020. As we saw the staff working from home, move to digital platforms, many events and activities were canceled. Our staff also developed programming to allow us to take on the challenges that our region was facing. This was a year when the LSCP team was able to use all their training to help the business community through this crisis. Tonight's event is an example of how the organization had to become creative in accomplishing our mission. Our annual dinner turned into an annual celebration. It transformed from a gathering of hundreds of people in one place to a virtual gathering with hundreds of people watching from many different places. And we're so glad that you could join us. What's on the schedule? Well, you'll meet the winners of this year's Individual and Business Distinguished Service Awards. We will introduce the new CEO of LSCP, only the second person to hold that position in the history of the organization. And we'll say goodbye to Amy Klickner, who has served the LSCP so well for so long. I do want to mention there's also a silent auction underway, and that will remain open until noon tomorrow. It's a great way to support the partnership and get some great stuff in return. Be sure to check it out after tonight's program. Now about tonight and my role. Amy and I have worked together for this organization for a very long time. And when she asked me to do something, I rarely can say no. So when she asked if I would MC this event, I said okay. It wasn't until a few weeks ago that I began to think, what have I got myself into? It was then I began to realize that being the MC of what is being called a virtual event is really very different. I've been an MC well over 100 times in my life, but never without an audience that I could see. I always try to work at least a little humor into the program, but can you imagine what it's like to be a comedian without an audience? It would actually be better to hear moans and groans than no sound at all. And can you actually find humor during a year like we've just experienced? Well, we must, for our own sanity. What kind of year was it? Well, it was the year of the great toilet paper stampede. When the news of the pandemic broke, the first thing many people did was rush to the store and buy all the toilet paper they could. It's good to know our priorities are in the right place. This was a year when we all had to learn how to do something new, some new things or some old things in new ways. This was the year of the Zoom meeting. Everything is happening on Zoom. A year ago, I didn't know what Zoom was. I had no clue. And now I produce a weekly television show with it. But I'm not the only one. A year ago, LSCP President Brett French, he thought that Zoom was a laundry detergent. He did. Wash your clothes with Zoom and they'll be fresh and clean. TV6's Rick Rhodes, an LSCP officer, thought it was a new Starbucks coffee flavor. Put a Zoom in your step with a Starbucks Zoom. NMU President Fritz Erickson, he thought it was something you put in your gas tank. Your engine will purr with contentment with Zoom in the tank. And Dave Arrow, also an LSCP officer, well, Dave thought Zoom was a laxative. Take a Zoom and you'll be heading for the, well, you know where. So this really has been a most unusual year. Let me ask you a question. If you're one of the thousands of people working from home, are you really getting dressed each day? I have a feeling that some of you might be staying in your pajamas. You know, when you sit in front of that Zoom camera, are you wearing pants? I know there are some people out there wearing sweatpants and a lot worse. You know who you are. And you know, because this event is usually an annual dinner, I do want to make it clear that unless you're watching at your own dinner table, there will be no food served here tonight. Hopefully you've arranged for some snacks and beverages to enjoy as you're watching. So we don't have dinner, but as I mentioned earlier, we will have everything else that traditionally goes along with this annual gathering. So let's get started. You know, one of the annual highlights of this celebration is the presentation of the Distinguished Service Awards. To present our first award, I want to call on Brett French. Brett is the Vice President, Business Development and Communications for Upper Peninsula Power Company and President of the Lake Superior Community Partnership. Brett?
Let's take a few minutes to introduce our 2021 Distinguished Service Award winner, Scott Urbish. Many of you recognize Scott as Marquette County's administrator attending to the county's business. To be sure, that's no small undertaking. Please join me as we take a closer look at Mr. Urbish and his many notable contributions to our community.
Scott Urbish was born at the University of Michigan Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor, Michigan, to Elizabeth and Frederick Urbish. Before his first birthday, Scott, his older brother Steve, and his parents moved to Houghton, Michigan, where his father was a professor at Michigan Technological University. Scott grew up in Houghton until he started college at Northern Michigan University. He eventually transferred to Western Michigan University, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree. Scott joined the Police Academy in 1984. After working in law enforcement for several years, Scott pursued his Master's of Public Administration from Northern Michigan University with an emphasis in human resources. This was in an effort to broaden his opportunities in the public sector. Scott went on to work as the Assistant City Manager for the City of Negaunee. In addition to overseeing the general day-to-day operations of the city, he was successful in securing a wide variety of grants for infrastructure and recreational enhancements, while working with developers for business and residential projects. Scott has been with the County of Marquette for nearly 21 years. His first year was spent as the Human Resources and Risk Manager. His previous city management experience was seen as critical for one of Marquette County's ongoing challenges, the closure of former K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base. Scott managed the public works and transition of the utilities on base.
You know, there wasn't a playbook for redevelopment of Sawyer. It's not like you could say, well, what did this community do or what did that community do? We were one of the first communities to be in the BRAC process, base realignment and closure process. So it was very challenging for us. We had to kind of figure things out as we were going along, and things like, well, what do you do with the electrical system? What do you do with the natural gas system? What do you do with the water wastewater system? Scott took all of that on and did a phenomenal job.
He was ultimately promoted to Director of Operations at Sawyer, overseeing all county operations, including economic development and Marquette County's Sawyer International Airport. After almost 10 years at Sawyer, the county board hired Scott as the county administrator controller. Although still involved with the Sawyer projects, Scott's responsibilities have expanded, and by drawing on his experiences, continue to expand in an effort to keep Marquette County moving forward.
For Scott, what he does, again, is, from the heart and for the right reasons. And he works so closely with the community, with his staff, and it's job creation in a lot of ways. One of the most important things, and he's always been a supporter of economic development, and how do we perpetuate more jobs, better paying jobs, jobs with healthcare and benefits that our families need to grow and sustain here.
The governor has appointed Scott to a number of different boards and committees over the years. Currently, he serves on Michigan's Local Community Stabilization Authority, the Complete County Census Committee, and most recently, the Michigan Municipal Services Authority Board and Executive Committee. Scott is a member of the Michigan Association of County Administrative Officers, International City and County Manager Association, Michigan Municipal Risk Management Association's Risk Avoidance Program, K.I. Sawyer Community Alliance, and the City of Marquette's Waterfront Safety Task Force. Scott is a Marquette County ambassador and a graduate of the Lake Superior Leadership Academy.
I guess how I put on his evaluation, you're an excellent county administrator. We're lucky to have you in Marquette County, but above that, you're a better person than you are an administrator. So I speak very highly of Scott in all regards, and very lucky to have him in Marquette County.
Locally, he is a board member of the United Way of Marquette County and the Lake Superior Community Partnership. Scott and his wife Mary have been married for almost 14 years. They enjoy many outdoor activities, including kayaking, hiking, fishing, and mountain biking in the picturesque Upper Peninsula.
Scott, congratulations on being this year's Distinguished Service Award winner. You do so many things to make our county a better place to live, work, raise a family, and recreate. Thank you for all that you do. Congratulations, my friend.
Lake Superior Community Partnership is grateful to Scott for all he has done for the organization over the years and that he has chosen to be committed to so many initiatives molding the future of Marquette County as a whole. Scott truly exemplifies distinguished service and most deserves to be named the individual 2021 Distinguished Service Award winner.
At this time, I would like to welcome Scott Urbish, Marquette County Administrator, up to accept his award. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you, Brett. I'm honored and humbled to have been selected for the award this year. As previous recipients have noted, we come to work, we put our heads down, and dig into the day, not thinking about personal recognition as the end game. We set goals to maintain fiscally healthy organizations while creating a positive work environment for our employees in hopes to attract and retain the best talent. In local government, we work towards enhancing the quality of life for our residents, whether through the development of parks and recreational opportunities, reliable infrastructure, or by helping to create an environment that supports local businesses and attracts new businesses to our community. It's my hope that in my tenure in local government, that in some small way, I've been able to play a part in these objectives. For an organization to be successful, it requires the effort and support of many. I've been so fortunate to be surrounded by talented and dedicated administrative teams, ambitious department heads, and conscientious elected officials. These team members, along with engaged and supported Board of Commissioners, have been integral to the continuation of a thriving organization and community in Marquette County. Our external partners, such as Amy with the LSCP and the MEDC and others, have been very important in Marquette County's economic development and legislative efforts. With these relationships, our external partners have played critical roles in the airport's stability and our community's growth. We are stronger working together. Again, I want to thank everyone for this recognition, and I look forward to many years of continuing these same efforts. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Congratulations, very deserving of the award. We have another Distinguished Service Award, and we're delighted to have Melissa Holmquist with us to make the presentation. Melissa is the Chief Executive Officer of the UP Health Plan, and she was named one of Craig's notable Women in Health for 2020. She's also a leader of the Marquette Ambassadors. Melissa?
Good evening, everyone. The Marquette County Ambassadors co-sponsor this award along with the LSCP, and I am honored to present this year's Distinguished Service Award recipient, a company you all know well, so let's take a look at some of the highlights that make them such a wonderful addition to our community.
As Michigan's newest mine in decades, Eagle Mine is dedicated to keeping their employees safe, protecting the environment, and being a responsible community member. Eagle is the nation's only primary nickel mine and will account for 2% of the world's nickel production over its 11-year mine life. On the surface, Eagle Mine encompasses roughly 150 acres, similar to a small 18-hole golf course. The Eagle ore body is accessed via a mile-long decline tunnel, and the ore is removed using an underground mining method called long-hole stope mining. When mining operations are completed, restoration will be implemented quickly and efficiently. In order to preserve the environment, any land that has been disrupted during the mining process will be returned to a natural state. Approximately 44 round trips are made per day between the mine and mill sites, with each load weighing on average between 40 to 45 metric tons. Eagle Mine has an agreement with the Marquette County Road Commission to invest $44 million to upgrade the roads their transportation plan currently occupies. The Humboldt Mill is a historic brownfield site built by Cleveland Cliffs Iron Company in the 1950s for milling of iron ore. Cleveland Cliffs ceased operations in the early 1980s, and in 2008, Eagle's former owner, Rio Tinto, purchased the site. Eagle obtained the permits necessary to refurbish and operate the mill in 2010 and invested more than $5 million to clean up past mining waste. Construction and equipment upgrades to the mill began in 2012 to prepare the facility for production in 2014. Over $275 million was invested to bring the historic mill back into operations. The mill uses conventional crushing, grinding, and flotation methods to produce separate nickel and copper concentrates. Approximately 2,000 metric tons of ore are milled per day. By utilizing the Humboldt Mill, more nickel and copper can be extracted. This leads to a better use of the mineral resource, more taxes going to the community, and a longer mine life, providing more jobs. Eagle Mine made a commitment to the community that 75% of the workforce would come from the local labor market. Today, 90% of the workforce is local. That's nearly 400 people that were able to stay in the UP.
So one of the things that I cherish most about Eagle Mine and their staff and their leadership is how engaged they are in the community. They're a good corporate citizen, and they have always been that. They've had an open door policy if you had any questions or concerns, and they give back to the community.
Eagle Mine believes that a positive relationship with the community is essential for a successful business. In the summer of 2020, Eagle Mine partnered with LSCP's Love on Local program and invested over $100,000 in the Rocking Local campaign to thank employees for working safely and to support small businesses impacted by the pandemic. Eagle is the largest private supporter of the Marquette Elger Technical Middle College and contributes $125,000 each year to the program. Currently, there are 60 students enrolled in the 3-year program in career areas that will help sustain our regional economy. These career areas include the skilled trades, healthcare, and cybersecurity.
Thanks to Eagle's support, the promise we can make to our students is that if they pursue a degree from Northern Michigan University which leads to a high-needs occupation in our regional economy, we'll pay for their first 3 years of college tuition. And we're only able to do that because of Eagle's financial support.
Eagle Mine is also committed to supporting entrepreneurs through Accelerate UP and a loan guarantee partnership with Northern Initiatives. Together, these initiatives have supported the creation of over 300 jobs. When Eagle Mine closes in 2025, it won't matter how much ore was mined. What matters is that it was a safe operation, protected the environment, and leaves the Upper Peninsula in a better social and economic state than it was before. Eagle Mine has been a partner of the Lake Superior Community Partnership and a donor of Chairman's Circle for several years. Their commitment to the betterment of Marquette County and economic development in the region makes Eagle Mine a well-deserving recipient of the 2021 Business Distinguished Service Award.
I'd like to welcome Darby Stacy, Eagle Mine Managing Director, up to accept their award.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you. This award has tremendous meaning to Eagle Mine and to myself personally. My name's Darby Stacy. I'm Managing Director at Eagle. I've been in the role for just 1 week short of a year. But it's not my first time at Eagle Mine, and so I want to give you a little bit of my perspective from some of the early days with Eagle and to now, which really try to shed some light on why this award is so meaningful. You know, the first time I moved to Marquette County, this is late 2011, it was for a small underground high-grade nickel mine and a retrofit of an old mill at Humboldt. So
Pretty interesting stuff. I'd never been to the area, I'd never been to the UP, but it seemed like it was a place rich, with a really rich history and a great outdoors culture. I just kind of liked it. And what I really liked about the project was that it was small enough you could wrap your whole head around it. So it wasn't like a gigantic operation where you do have a tendency to get pigeonholed or siloed into different areas. It was a project where day to day, professionally, you're going to get your hands on a few different things. So those were things that were interesting to me. And in those early days, it was just a project, before construction really kicked off. We made a lot of promises and a lot of commitments. Promises to the board, give us the money, we're going to build a good project. Promises to our employees and contractors for the jobs. And promises to the community on how we were going to do it right. And they were all promises, so a lot of trust. Trust us, it's going to be a great deal. So during that time, the next 2 or 3 years, building this small project, it was actually really big and it was really hard. We made a lot of great relationships, some of the best relationships I've ever made, with our coworkers, with our contractors, and with our neighbors in the area. And at the end of that, I actually ended up with two boys, both born at Bell Hospital in Ishpeming. So a couple of years ago, I took another opportunity for another project out west this time. It was a project in a similar sort of state that Eagle was when I took the role here. And it was during this time in a different project that it really became clear to me just how rare building a good mine, a good project is, and especially one that you can be proud of. To put it short, that project didn't work, and there's a lot of commitments left on the table to a lot of different people and a lot of different groups. Fast forward another couple years, I got the call back from Eagle Mine, who recruited me into this role. I'm into managing director. So why come back? And really it was the reputation, and this is what I talk about continuously now and during my time away, but it took that time to become clear. We have a reputation at Eagle. When we make a commitment, we're going to deliver on the commitment. So it's a double-edged sword. We're not going to make a commitment that we know we're not going to be able to uphold, and if we do say something, we're going to take the responsibility to actually deliver on that commitment. That's something that permeates throughout our entire workforce and all of our employees. It permeates in our values of safety, integrity, respect, and excellence. And it is a very special thing. It's a rare thing. It takes a lot of discipline. It's not an easy thing, but it's the thing I'm most proud of. And I think it's the reason that we've won that award. So, for the community, it means the short, taking the short-range view and the long-term view on the things that we choose to support, while also embracing some more global initiatives with human rights or climate change, and trying to find the balance there locally and globally. It's more than just writing a check to a group or an organization and then turning our back and hoping for the best. The organizations that we participate in, we are very concerned with the long-term vision, the long-term strategy, because we want something that's going to be successful even after Eagle Mine is closed, and we want these things to continue to grow. So the second time I moved to the UP came with a little bit of a different challenge. This was the first week of March of 2020, which I think you can all remember where you were when everything kind of changed on us. This time around, moving with two young Yoopers in tow back to the UP, back to our friends and the people in the area that we came to love over the years. So this year marks about 1 year. It's been a really tough year, but it's probably operationally our best year ever. We hit all of our targets, and most importantly, we had our best safety year on record and won the prestigious Sentinels of Safety Award, which was announced back in September. But this award here means a lot. It means a lot to all of our employees at Eagle. It means a lot to me personally, reflecting on the journey and all of the commitments and the promises that were made. I want to say to the community, thank you for giving us your trust then, and thank you for continuing to allow us to operate. It's not easy. It's something that discipline's got to be every shift, every day, but we're committed to do it. Thank you.
Thanks, Darby. Thanks for keeping those commitments, and thanks for all that Eagle Mine has done for our community. Now here's an interesting fact. The Lake Superior Community Partnership has been around for almost a quarter century, and in that time, only one person, Amy Klickner, has been in charge of the organization. In that same time period, the Detroit Lions have had 11 head coaches. I think something can be said for stability. Of course, Amy doesn't care because she's a Green Bay Packer fan. This has absolutely no connection to anything we're doing here tonight. But I thought it was worth mentioning as LSCP welcomes Sarah Lucas as only the second person to head up this organization. Sarah was selected after a very thorough search process, and she comes to the job with both a knowledge of the area and an extensive and impressive record of experience in community and economic development. I know Sarah is excited to take on this new challenge, and the officers and directors are thrilled to have identified someone to lead the organization into the future. It's a pleasure for me to introduce the new CEO of LSCP, Sarah Lucas.
Thank you for that kind introduction, Don. I'm really happy to be here tonight. I wish I was meeting you all in person, but I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to introduce myself to you virtually. Just want to say a few words about myself and thank the board for having me here, as Don mentioned, as only the second CEO of LSCP. I have spent most of my life in Northwest Lower Michigan. For the last 20 years or so, I've been living and working in the Traverse City area. I started my career as a planner in Leelanau County and spent about a dozen years at Networks Northwest, where I worked as a community development director for the 10 counties of Northwest Lower Michigan. In that role, I was involved with all different kinds of community issues, from transit to health to economic development to housing to transportation, and worked with local governments, state and federal agencies, community organizations, businesses, and the public to find solutions to some of the biggest issues that the region was facing in terms of economic and community development. One of the biggest issues that we faced in Northwest Lower Michigan was housing. And so over the years, our region put together a new organization called Housing North. And I was the first executive director of that organization starting about 2 years ago, and worked with Housing North to develop policy and communication solutions to some of the bigger housing issues in our region. From there, over the last 6 months or so, I've been working with the Western UP Planning and Development Region to put together an economic development strategy focused on recovery and resilience post-pandemic. I stepped out of my role as the executive director of Housing North to move to Marquette. It's part of a long-standing plan that my husband and I had after our many years of a long-distance relationship between Traverse City and Marquette. My husband is a professor at Northern, and both of us had kids in school. So this last year, in 2020, when my son graduated, we were finally able to make the big move, and I came up to Marquette, and our family is finally all together in one spot. We have my son as a freshman at Northern, a stepson in middle school in Marquette, and a stepson in high school in Marquette. So we're really happy and grateful to be here together in Marquette. We know that we're fortunate to live in such an incredible place, and I know this particularly well. I'm reminded of it often as I've been talking about my move over the last couple years with different members of the community. When I tell them I'm moving to Marquette, I hear invariably to a person, "Oh my God, I love Marquette. I wish I was moving to Marquette. I love Marquette." So I know what an incredible place this is, and it's just perceived everywhere as a place that people want to be. It's a thriving, beautiful community, and there's a lot of opportunity for growth here in Marquette and the surrounding area. That has been a deliberate choice that the community has made over the years to invest in its assets, to invest in what makes the community unique. And that's been a collaborative effort. I know it's been a part of what local governments have been working towards, what businesses have been working towards, what community organizations have been working towards, and I know that the LSCP has been a key partner in that work. So I'm honored to have this opportunity to continue some of that success, but I'm also very honored to be able to follow in Amy Klickner's footsteps. I want to say that, as I've been talking about my move to Marquette, one of the things I hear almost as often as how much people love it here is, "Oh, I love Marquette. Do you know Amy Klickner?" She's really kind of a celebrity. She's really been instrumental in promoting Marquette and has been really effective and influential in building up the Marquette that we know today and the surrounding area. So I'm honored to have this opportunity to work with the LSCP and continue the success that it has created over the years in the region, and to follow in Amy's footsteps, who has left such an incredible legacy of success for the region. I want to say just, in my work with the Western UP, as I've been talking with people about resiliency and recovery from the pandemic in economic development, it's really become clear that times like these are difficult for transitions, whether you're transitioning in or you're transitioning out. Nothing is the same. We don't really know what to expect in the future. But at the same time, these are really important opportunities for change and really give us the chance to grow and evolve. So in many ways, this is a perfect time for a transition, and I look forward to being able to continue the growth that we have seen with the LSCP over the years. I want to thank the LSCP for the opportunity to continue this growth. I want to thank Amy for her work for the region, and I look forward to working with you all. Thanks.
Thanks, Sarah. It's so very nice to have you with us. A very abridged version of LSCP's history would reveal that an organization called the Lake Superior Jobs Coalition, which was first organized to save mining jobs in Marquette County, came back to life in 1995 to try to save K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base. When that mission failed, they went back to work to offset the economic loss that would follow as the base closed. A group of business leaders came together to lead that effort. They soon realized they needed a new organization, and they also needed help to carry out that effort. The new organization formed was the Lake Superior Community Partnership, and the help was provided by a young woman named Amy Klickner. She was hired as our first employee, and since that beginning, LSCP and Amy have been synonymous. Amy and I have had some real adventures since then. Some were challenging organizational projects, and some were just fun. Some of the early annual report videos and LSCP comedy shows gave Amy an opportunity to show her comedic side. As you know, Amy has decided it's time to ride off into the sunset and end what has been an amazing career. It's been a joy for me to have been with her since the very beginning, but that's true for a number of people, and we'd like to share some of their thoughts tonight.
Hey, Amy, congratulations on your well-deserved retirement. I have to say, as I was thinking back a little bit about when I first came to Northern, in fact, when I was first interviewing, one of the things that I did is I snuck into town with Jan and was just looking around, and I saw LSCP, so I thought, well, I better stop and find out what's going on in economic development in the community. And I just walked in cold, and you and your whole staff were so welcoming and supportive, and it was so interesting to find out what was going on. It was really a great thing. So I've really appreciated all that you've done, all the work, the friendship, the support, the fact that have kids that have come to Northern. You're green and gold through and through, and we really appreciate that.
Hi, Amy. Well done. Your leadership over the years in many areas has been inspiring. Your ability to coordinate and deliver results across the broad spectrum of economic development for Marquette County, for Upper Michigan, and the state is remarkable. The Lake Superior Community Partnership under your leadership is a shining star. Wilma and I wish you the very best as you enter this next phase of your life. Thank you, Amy, and well done.
Amy Klickner, congratulations on your decision to retire. This is Jeff Finkel, the president of the International Economic Development Council, but more importantly, your friend. As I was thinking about what I should say today, I went back in my memory banks, and I think oftentimes when you would show up for conference calls, I would play Pure Prairie Lakes' Amy. And I think the one line out of the refrain from that song was, Amy, what you want to do. What do you want to do? And how are you going to involve the rest of us in what you're going to do? We're going to miss you. You have been an extraordinary participant in IEDC's board. I know those folks in Michigan are also have looked to your leadership in the past. Thank you very much and good luck. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Just popping in to say congratulations on your retirement, Amy. I think you'll enjoy it. Based on my experience, it's a pretty good gig, 6 Saturdays and a Sunday. Now, as you leave, I hope you take a few moments to look back on your career and see all that you've accomplished. You've actually made Marquette County and the Upper Peninsula a better place to work and live for a lot of people. So congratulations again. Patty and I send our love and our best wishes for a healthy and happy retirement.
Congratulations, Amy, and job well done on a magnificent career. Congratulations on all of your achievements on behalf of the Lake Superior Community Partnership, your wonderful Marquette community, and all of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's been a great pleasure to work with you over the years, and I wish you all the best in your next chapter. Congratulations, my friend.
Congratulations on your retirement, Amy. You've contributed so much to Marquette County and the Upper Peninsula over these many years, and you've been a dear personal friend of mine for more than a quarter century. I wish you and Kurt all of the best in your retirement.
Amy, congratulations on your impending retirement. I know you've done a great job over the last 20 plus years at Lake Superior Community Partnership, and probably most people know that it all was developed because you and Monsignor Capo and Don Ryan and several other people saw a need when the impending loss of the Air Force Base was coming. And you guys did a great job putting this innovative, collaborative community economic development project together. You give it a mission, you give it goals, you give it structure. And I think not only have you done well for Marquette and Marquette County, but the whole central UP, reaching down into Dickinson and Berga and some of the surrounding counties here as well. So best, and have a great time.
There's an old saying, you can't go home again. It doesn't actually apply to what's happening tonight, but it did get me thinking that the career Amy has had with this organization will never happen again. Yes, we have a new CEO, and I know she will take the organization forward from here. But it will not be like the last almost quarter century. It won't be like when we started a new organization with a new mission, new challenges, and a new young woman to help lead us forward. Amy came into this job with some business background, but with no experience in the assignment she was taking on. And from that day forward, we saw the organization grow, but we also saw Amy grow to become the leader she is today. It's been a real pleasure working with Amy all these years. We took on a lot of serious challenges, but we also had a lot of fun along the way. Amy, the very best to you in retirement. I'm glad we could make the journey together.
Hi, Amy. First of all, I appreciate the opportunity to wish you good luck and farewell on your retirement. It is well deserved. It's hard to believe that it's been 22 years since we first met back in the first Lake Superior Leadership Academy. I was proud to know you and meet you then, and I'm proud of the fact that I know you now. You've done a wonderful job for this community, and I can only think to say thank you and wish you good luck into the future.
Congratulations on your retirement. We love you. You deserve all you've got. And you can join the retiree club now.
Congratulations, hon. We love you. It's been a long road for you. And I remember when we first dropped you off at Ferris, you went up the street You didn't even look back. You were 17. I was crying, and you were just so eager to move on, and that's what you have done. Congratulations. It's been awesome watching you. Love you.
Well, Amy, I've been trying to think of a clever way that I could scare you out of retirement and keep you where you belong, leading the LSCP. But then I realized I've told almost everybody I know how great retirement is, and you would know that I was just BSing. So, welcome to the world of retirement. Congratulations, and thank you for all you've done for our community.
Hi, Amy. Congratulations on your upcoming retirement. I think our board made an excellent decision 24 years ago when they hired you to be our CEO. I've enjoyed working with you the past 24 years, and I've enjoyed watching you grow and lead. Please don't disappear like some of our other colleagues have. Stick around and contribute.
Amy, retirement? Really? Are you sure? Have you talked to your counselor about this? You know, the energy and passion that you bring, I think the energy that you get in dealing and working with others, it's going to be tough to replace. I'm sure you've thought about that long and hard. I've heard you talk time and time again about your daughters and your husband, so I'm sure you've got big things planned. Congratulations to you.
Hi, Amy. Happy retirement, my friend. I can't believe you're retiring so young, but you know, I just wish you the best with your family. Getting ready for a wedding is exciting, and you know, I don't know if the people of Marquette realize how respected you are in the economic development industry, not just here in Michigan, but in the country, serving on the IEDC Board of Directors and being one of 12 economic development leaders for Michigan. You are a true leader. You're creative, you're hardworking, you're smart, and I'm lucky to call you a dear friend. So happy retirement, dear friend. Love you. Come and visit me in Frankenmuth, too.
Amy Klickner, as you know it is said, nothing lasts forever. But with your record of service, and make no mistake, it is a sacrificial service that you have offered to Marquette County and the Upper Peninsula. Your legacy will truly endure. For 23 years, you've selflessly given your time, thoughtfully given your counsel, and passionately offered your advocacy. Through your time and talents, you impacted significant projects like Eagle Mine, which I know touched your heart. But as importantly, you touched the lives and livelihoods of countless small businessmen and businesswomen in need of assistance. Thank you, Amy.
Hi, this is State Senator Ed McBroom.
And I'm State Representative Sarah Kimbenzi. And we want to wish Amy Klickner the happiest of retirement, thank her for all of her hard work and all of the sweat and equity she put behind all of our businesses, big and small, in the UP to make them successful over the years.
Amy is a person that's so well known across the Marquette area and the greater UP, but she uses that and harnesses that when she came to Lansing. And while she was here, people always talked about going to the reception with the Marquette ambassadors. And Amy, over time, expanded that and brought so many other people from the UP down. And the white papers they could bring down that went point by point were so critical to getting some really critical legislation done for the UP, especially flexibility for career and tech education, money opportunities for great development in the UP. We owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to Amy and her whole team that she assembled for all these years to make sure the UP's issues were well represented in Lansing. And absolutely, the best of luck to you, Amy, and we hope that you enjoy your retirement.
Hi, Amy. I'm kind of sad that I'm doing a farewell happy retirement video for you because I really can't believe it's true. But no, seriously, I am genuinely thrilled for you. After all of your dedicated years of hard work on behalf of the Upper Peninsula, I'm really thrilled for you that you are going to get to have fun, relax, travel, do all of your amazing hobbies that you have. Well-deserved next chapter for you.
Amy, congratulations on your next adventure. On behalf of the Berga County Economic Development Corporation, I say thank you for your vision and leadership. The collaboration is a diamond in the rough. Your input will be missed, but your mission will carry on. Best of luck to you.
Amy, congratulations on your retirement. So much to be proud of and so many accomplishments. Marquette County would also like to thank you for all your assistance with our economic development efforts as well as our legislative work. Your leadership has been critical in helping us secure some significant projects for Marquette County. I also want to wish you the best on your new career, that being a professional karaoke singer. I know you haven't had a lot of time to practice, so now you will. Best of luck in your new endeavor, and congratulations on your retirement.
Mom, as you retire, I just want to remind you of how proud I am of you and all the work that you have done. You have set the example for me from the very start. You inspire me still and always will. Congratulations on your retirement. I love you so much.
Hey Mom, I just want to say congratulations on your retirement. We are all so proud of you and love you so much. You work so hard and everybody sees it. You have honestly been the best role model a daughter could ask for. You've shown us what it looks like to work hard and work for what you want and be a strong woman. And I honestly feel blessed that you've taught us that. I love you and we're all so proud of you.
Not much I can add after that. Amy and I have shared some great experiences, including, as I said, some that were a lot of fun. But most of it wasn't about fun, but helping to build a strong future for Marquette County. I've watched Amy grow from a young woman learning her job to an accomplished leader in economic development. And not just in Marquette County, but someone whose leadership is now recognized in Michigan and on the national scene as well. It's a bittersweet experience for me to introduce Amy Klickner for her final remarks as the CEO of the Lake Superior Community Partnership. Amy?
Good evening. I'm Amy Klickner, the CEO of the Lake Superior Community Partnership. And as Don mentioned, this is my last time making remarks with this current title. First of all, though, I want to say thank you and congratulations to the incredible award winners. The individual winner, Scott Urbish, has always had my back and been a huge partner in economic development from our public sector. So congratulations, Scott. And also Eagle Mine. It was the first big project I ever got to cut my teeth on almost 20 years ago. Heck, I didn't even know what flora and fauna were until I got into that project. And the investment and the amount of jobs and the activity that they have provided, being a huge community supporter, has been a learning experience for me all the way through. Don and I share a lot of similar stories because Don has been one of the biggest mentors to me in this whole process. And that's why it was very special to have him be the MC. Even if it is virtual, he nails it every time. So I want to say thank you to Don for taking time to do this for me. It means a lot. So almost 24 years ago, y'all took a chance on a young girl from Negaunee. We started when the base closed and we had a lot of work to do. And we were all learning together in one sense. Hey, we had a board-driven process. We had 80 board members to manage. And when you're a young person and you're thrown into your first board experience, it was a lot to manage. But again, no one ever gave up. They knew that we could do this and we could turn our community, our county around. Those who believed in me at the very beginning, I want to list a few of them because I remember working with them tirelessly. And if you knew the amount of volunteer hours that these people put in when we were a board-driven organization, you would be astounded. Led, of course, by Monsignor Capo, our first chair, who just, when Don talks about not being able to say no to me, no one could say no to Monsignor Capo, or Phyllis Mackey for that matter. Mike Skidda, Ken Palmer, Tom Edmark, John Marshall, Don Ryan. This is a group that I learned from that met once a week for years to get this organization up and running. They've been tremendous to me, both personally and professionally, and I thank them all very much. From that time on to the directors and the officers that I have today, I have been very grateful to work for and with and alongside so many wonderful people. Today, Board Chair Brett French, who is also a good friend of mine, has always supported me no matter what I do. Roxanne Doss, Jesse Bell, Dave Arrow, Mike Fredrizzi, Stephanie Jones, Scott Nafla, Brian DiAgostine, and Rick Rhodes. A great team, a great leadership team that will help move this organization forward with Sarah. From an operations standpoint, it was a first for everything. It was merging the EDC, the two chambers, the partnership. It was moving into a new building and merging staffs together. It was then that we realized that there was no air conditioning in the building, and so we began a project to make it comfortable for the staff, only to find asbestos. So it seems like, and as Don has said, there's many stories along the way, that was just the beginning of the stories, to say anything we did, there was always another layer of something, like peeling back the onion, that always caused us to pivot and be nimble as economic developers. We had staff training and fundraising and program development, employee evaluations and setting up a strategic plan and key performance indicators, and all those things that I had probably never heard of before starting. Don't get me wrong, there's been many ups and downs throughout the years, but the good has so far outweighed the bad, and there hasn't been a day that it has felt like a job to me. I truly believe that's because of the commitment of the leadership of this great organization and the incredible staff that is here today and those that came before them. So many of them are excelling in our community, continuing to grow professionally and personally, and are still good friends with me today. Together, there have been so many firsts. As I mentioned, the merger of the EDC, the LSCP, the two chambers, the establishment of our 501c3 foundation, cleverly called the Lake Superior Community Partnership Foundation, creation of an electrical line technician program that no one ever thought would still be alive today, when we had a utility partner from UPCO come and say, I need you to start a school, and Brett French and I said, okay, and we did. $1 billion bash, $1 billion of economic development investment in our county in 1 year, led by the Eagle Mine Project. The Lake Superior Leadership Academy, near and dear to my heart, that started in 1999. The Love on Local gift card campaign and Heroes Project. Being an accredited economic development organization since 2010. Our Chairman Circle, our work multi-county, and the collaborative efforts among other partners across the UP. Our legislative advocacy and public policy work, and of course, going way back, our Stand Up for Iron Ore and Stand Up for Steel rallies that helped the mining industry, in particular Cleveland Cliffs, also many years ago. We've done a lot together. I've learned so much, and as to that, the board has always supported professional development and allowed me to grow in this profession and with my network. Don mentioned my work at the state level and at the national level with the International Economic Development Council would never have been possible without the support of the board and my officers and my staff. I've won many awards that really are due and should go to the staff and all the work that they do to make me look good every day of the week. And oh, we've had fun. We've definitely had fun. Comedy Zone, that's something that I never said no to Don either, and so when he said, let's do Who's On First, and you're the dumb guy or the fall guy or whatever that is, I'm like, I didn't know what that really meant until we really were sitting in his car one day practicing Who's On First to get ready to do it in front of the green screen at TV6. But it was fun, and Don got me out of my shell, and I ended up loving doing those types of engagements, and we used it. We used it in annual videos, we did Wizard of Oz, and we did It's a Wonderful Life, and we found a way to share our story that was not only informational, but entertaining. We have lots of traveling stories and lots of meeting stories from beginning till now. For those of you that have been around a long time, you know ketchup, you know skim milk, you know the story of the van where I ejected myself from the seat. These are all things that I will remember and laugh about for as long as I can remember. I am grateful and thankful tonight. I am grateful and thankful for the board members, for all of our investors, for the staff that I have been blessed and they're a part of my family. For the incredible opportunities to learn, to travel, and to share the story of Marquette County around the country. For a network of peers that have now turned into great friends. For the collaboration that the Upper Peninsula has today. to all of our stakeholders and investors and partners who believe in what we're doing, and to all of the support that you have all given me throughout the years. Thank you again for taking a chance on a young girl from Negaunee. This girl is grateful.
Thanks, Amy. It's been a great ride, and I'm glad we could make it together. Well, that's it for the LSCP annual celebration. I hope you enjoyed it, and I think we all look forward with hope that we can gather together next year at an annual dinner. Don't forget, the silent auction will be available until noon tomorrow. Check it out. Thanks for joining us, and good night.